Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to VUS Learning English Podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with me today. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I am sending you a very big, warm welcome. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. It is always wonderful to have you here. Today we have a very special episode. We are going to talk about a very important skill. This skill can change your life. It can make all your relationships better. Your relationships with your family, your relationships with your friends, your relationships at work, and even your relationship with yourself. The topic today is how to master communication skills, how to talk with people, and more importantly, how to listen to people. It is a beautiful topic, and I believe it will help you feel more confident, more connected, and more understood. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. It means so much to me. If you enjoy this episode, please think about subscribing to our channel. It helps our community grow. And it helps us reach more English learners around the world, just like you. I am always curious. Where are you listening from today? Are you in Ethiopia? Or America? Or India? Or maybe somewhere else? You can tell me in the comments. I love to read where all my friends are from. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin our journey together. I want to tell you a story about a man. This man often felt very lonely. On Friday nights, he would sit at home. He would think about his day. He would think about every conversation. He would remember all the awkward moments. He would think, why did I say that? Why do I always say the wrong thing? When he went to a party, he felt very nervous. It felt like a big test. A test he did not study for. He would stand in a corner. He would hold his drink. He would watch other people. He saw groups of people laughing. They seemed so connected, like they shared a secret he did not know. His dating life was not easy. Many chats just ended. They fizzled out like a small fire with no wood. At work, he had good ideas, but he was very shy. He hesitated to speak, so his ideas stayed in his mind. He was not chosen for promotions. He felt like he was invisible, like a chair or a table in the office. Useful, but no one really saw him. His life felt quiet and lonely. He felt that no one understood him. He had a deep feeling that something was wrong with him. He thought some people are just born with a special gift. The gift of being good with people, the gift of charisma. And he thought he was not one of them. He believed he was just not born with it. But what if that is not true? What if that is a lie? What if being good with people is not a gift? What if it is a skill? A skill that anyone can learn. You can learn it. I can learn it. Everyone can learn it. And what if the secret to this skill is not about talking? What if it is not about being the loudest person? What if it is about being the most observant person? What if it is about watching and listening carefully? Think about this. A recent report was made. It found that poor communication is very expensive. In the United States, it costs businesses a lot of money. It costs them about $1.2 trillion every year. 1.2 trillion. That is a 1, then a 2, then 11 zeros. It is a very, very, very big number. That is how much money is lost. Why? Because people at work do not understand each other. They do not truly hear each other. Now think about the cost in our own lives. It is not about money. It is about our hearts. It is the cost of missed friendships, the cost of failed relationships, the cost of lost opportunities. This cost is measured in lonely nights. It is the sad feeling of being disconnected. We live in a world with so much technology. We are supposed to be more connected than ever, but many of us feel more alone than ever. The man in our story discovered something amazing, and we are going to learn it today. He found that the solution to his lonely feelings and the solution to that big trillion-dollar problem is exactly the same thing. It is one single skill, a skill you can learn. And this one skill will change every relationship in your life. It will change everything for the better. Section 1. The turning point. Let's give the man in our story a name. Let's call him Alex. For Alex, the big change did not happen in one big moment. It was not like a scene in a movie. It was a slow process. It was the feeling of 1,000 small failures, 1,000 small moments of feeling bad. He remembered a first date. He felt so nervous. He wanted to impress the woman. So he talked a lot about himself. He talked about his job. He talked about his hobbies. He just kept talking and talking. Then he looked at her. He saw her eyes. They looked empty. She was bored. He felt a sinking feeling in his stomach. He realized he never asked about her. He remembered a meeting at work. He had a brilliant idea, a really great idea. He tried to explain it, but his words were mixed up. They did not come out clearly. His voice was quiet. He did not sound confident. Later, another person shared a similar idea. That person was very confident. Everyone loved the idea, and that person got credit for it. Alex felt so frustrated. His lowest moment was in a performance review, a meeting about his work. His manager was a direct woman. She wanted to help him. She sat him down. She said, "Alex, your work is good. Your work is solid. But people do not feel connected to you." She continued, "They do not feel like you are really here with them. You are in your head, not in the room." Those words, "not in the room." Those words hit him very hard, like a ton of bricks. Because it was true. It was completely true. In every conversation, he was not really listening. He was listening to a voice inside his own head, a very loud, frantic voice. That voice was always busy. It was planning his next sentence. It was judging his last sentence. It was worrying about what to say next. He was so busy sending out his own worry. He was broadcasting his anxiety. He never stopped to receive anything from the other person. He never stopped to just listen. That night, he felt defeated. He felt so sad. He stayed home. He started to search for answers online. He read about psychology, the study of the mind. He read about sociology, the study of people in groups. He read about the best communicators in the world, leaders, famous people, people everyone loved. He found many complex ideas. He found many quick tips and tricks. But among all the noise, he found a simple truth, a truth that appeared again and again. The truth was this: we go to school for many years. We learn how to read, we learn how to write, we learn how to present our ideas. But no one ever teaches us how to truly listen. No one teaches us how to make a safe space for another person. a space where they feel seen, a space where they feel heard, a space where they feel important. And no one teaches us about the other conversation, the one that happens without words. The most important things are often communicated without opening our mouths. This is where he discovered a new way, a framework that changed his entire life. It is not a trick. It is not about changing your personality. It is a simple shift, a change in how you see conversations. I call this framework conscious connection. Conscious means you are aware, you are paying attention. Connection is the feeling of being close to someone. So it means paying attention to create connection. This framework has two main parts, two strong pillars that hold it up. The first pillar is what I call radical listening. Radical means complete and total. So this is the art of listening completely. Not listening to give an answer, but listening just to understand. The second pillar is the silent conversation. This is about understanding the world of nonverbal communication, your body language, your tone of voice. As we will see, this silent world often says more than our words. When you combine these two pillars, radical listening and the silent conversation, you create the one skill that makes all the difference. It is the skill that separates the awkward and lonely from the happy and connected. It is the ability to make another person feel special, to make them feel like they are the only person in the world for a few moments. And today, we are going to learn this skill. We will build it together, step by step, just like Alex did. Section 2, the first pillar, radical listening. Part 2A, why we fail at listening. Okay, let's talk about the first pillar, radical listening. But before we build a new habit, we need to understand the old one. We need to see why the old way is not working. Let me ask you a question. You can just think about it in your head. Have you ever been in a conversation and you were just waiting? Waiting for the other person to stop talking so you could finally say what you wanted to say? Yes? Of course, I have done this. You have done this. We have all done this. It is very normal. This is how most of us listen. It is our default mode. But we are not really listening. We are reacting. We are waiting for our turn to speak. For many of us, a conversation is like a game. It is a competition. Who has a better story? Who has a smarter reply? Who can prove they are right? Our modern world makes this problem bigger. It pours gasoline on the fire. Our phones are always buzzing. They pull our attention away. Our minds are also very noisy. We have our own ideas, our own opinions, our own worries, our own need to be right. We are not just distracted by things outside of us. We are distracted by the noise inside of us. Experts on communication, like a man named Otto Scharmer, they say there are different levels of listening. These levels help us understand the problem perfectly. Let's talk about them. The first level is what we can call absent listening. Absent means not there. This is when your body is in the room, but your mind is on another planet. Maybe you are nodding your head. Maybe you are saying, uh-huh, yes. But you are really thinking about your shopping list, or you are thinking about work tomorrow. The other person can feel this. They can feel that you are not really there. They can see the emptiness in your eyes. This was Alex's problem at parties. He was so lost in his own worry that he did not hear anything around him. He was absent. Now, the second level. This is called partial listening. Partial means only a part of something. This is where most of us live. Most of the time, we are partial listeners. We hear the main points. We understand the basic story. But we miss the important details, the little things. We miss the small change in their face, the flicker of sadness in their eyes. We miss the little pause in their voice, the hesitation. We miss the deeper meaning that is hidden between the words. It is like when your friend says, "I'm fine." You hear the words, but you miss the feeling of sadness under the words. You miss the exhaustion in their voice. That is partial listening. Now, the third level, this is the goal. This is the one we want to practice. It is called full listening. Full listening is very rare. It is a state of total attention, complete focus. It is when you decide to put everything else away, your phone, your worries, your own thoughts, and you give all of your attention to the other person. You listen with your ears. You listen with your eyes. You listen with your heart. You absorb their words. You absorb their tone of voice. You absorb their body language. This is the foundation of radical listening. It is a choice, a conscious choice you make. You choose to put understanding first. You choose to put your ego second. This was the first big step in Alex's journey, and it is the first step in our journey too. Part 2B, the 3 gears of radical listening. Alex did not become a full listener in one day. Of course not. At first, it felt strange. It felt very, very difficult. So he made it easier. He broke it down into 3 simple steps. He called them gears, like the gears on a bicycle. You start in gear 1, then you move to gear 2, then gear 3. Let's learn the 3 gears of radical listening. Gear 1, presence, achieving full listening. Gear number 1 is all about presence, being present, being here now. This gear is about creating a clean, clear space for communication. It means you remove the noise outside of you, and the noise inside of you. Let me tell you how Alex practiced this. It was like a meditation for him. He had a coffee meeting with a coworker. He did not know this person very well. Normally, Alex would have his phone on the table. His mind would be racing, thinking about 100 different things. But this time, he did something different. He followed gear 1. First, he took his phone. He put it on silent mode. No buzzing, no sounds. Then he put it in his bag. Out of sight, out of mind. That was step 1. A very simple step. Next, he thought about his body. He sat up straight. And he leaned forward just a little bit. This is a small signal, a nonverbal signal. It tells the other person, I am here. I am engaged. I am listening. Now for the hardest part, managing the noise inside his head. His coworker started to talk, and immediately Alex's mind started working. The voice in his head started talking. Oh, I have an opinion about that. I should say this. That reminds me of a story. But he resisted. He did not follow the voice. He imagined a mute button in his mind. A button to make his own thoughts quiet. He pressed the mute button. He told himself, My only job right now is to listen. My only job is to receive. Not to talk, not to plan. Just receive. So he focused. He focused on her words. He focused on her tone of voice. And he focused on her eyes. He tried to keep natural, comfortable eye contact. There is no magic rule for this, but many experts say something helpful. In many cultures, it is good to hold eye contact for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then you can gently look away for a moment, then look back. This builds trust. It shows you are paying attention. If you look for less time, you might seem nervous. If you look for more time, you might seem scary. So, a gentle, warm look for a few seconds is perfect. For 10 minutes, Alex just listened. He did not give any advice. He did not offer any solutions. He just listened with his full presence. At the end, his coworker stopped talking. She paused and she said, "Wow, I feel like I just figured everything out. Just by talking to you." Think about that. Alex said almost nothing. He did not give her the answer. He gave her something better. He gave her the gift of his full, undivided attention. He created a space for her to think clearly. For the first time, he was not in his head. He was in the room. This is the amazing power of pure presence. This is gear 1. You can practice this. The next time you talk with someone, try it. Put your phone away, lean in a little, and press the mute button on your own thoughts. Just for a minute or two. See how it feels. Gear 2. Unlocking, withholding judgment, and asking questions. Okay, are you ready for the next gear? After you are present, you can shift to gear 2. Gear 2 is called unlocking. This gear is about making the other person feel safe. Safe enough to share what is really on their mind. Safe enough to be open and honest. This is how you turn a simple small talk into a real conversation, into a moment of discovery. The most important part of gear 2 is to stop judging. You must actively withhold judgment. This is very, very difficult because we are all judging machines. It is natural for our brains. We judge people's clothes, we judge their words, we judge their opinions, we judge their life choices. We think, that's good, or that's bad, or that's strange. But connection cannot happen in a courtroom. The moment the other person feels your judgment, they will close. They will shut down. They will not share their real feelings. So how do you show that you are not judging? How do you create a judgment-free zone? You do it with questions. The art of the question, but not just any question. Most of us ask closed-ended questions. These are questions that have a very short answer, a yes, a no, or maybe one word. For example, did you have a good weekend? Answer, yes. Is the project finished? Answer, no. Do you like coffee? Answer, yes. These questions are conversation stoppers. They end the flow. The secret is to master the open-ended question. Open-ended questions are different. They are invitations. They invite the other person to share a story, to share an emotion, to share a deeper thought. They open the door to connection. Open-ended questions usually start with words like what, how, why. Or they start with phrases like, tell me about. What was that like for you? Let's see the difference. It is very clear. A closed question. Did you like the movie? An open-ended question. What was your favorite part of the movie? Can you see the difference? The first one gets a yes or no. The second one invites a story. Let's try another one, a closed question. Are you stressed about the presentation? An open-ended question. How are you feeling about the presentation coming up? The second question is so much better. It opens the door for feelings. I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling worried about this one part. Alex decided to try this on a second date. Dates used to make him feel so much fear. His date told him something interesting. She said she quit her job. She used to work in finance with money. Now she was a landscape designer. She designed gardens. The old Alex would have judged this immediately. The voice in his head would say, "That's a big change in salary." "Is that a good job?" "Wow, isn't that very risky?" And he probably would have said something clumsy. But this was the new Alex. He was practicing the gears. He was in gear 2. So he got curious. He pressed the mute button on his judgment. He asked an unlocking, open-ended question. He said, "Wow, that sounds like a really big and brave change." What was the moment you knew you had to do that? It was like he used a magic key, a key that unlocked a door in her. Her whole body changed. She leaned forward. Her eyes became bright. And for the next 15 minutes, she told him a story full of passion, a story about her dreams, a story about what was important to her. Alex just listened. He was in gear 1, being present. And sometimes he would ask another open-ended question, like, what has been the most surprising part of that new job? He was not in an interview anymore. He was not trying to impress her. He was a lucky person. He was listening to a real human story. And that is how real connection is born. Gear 3, reflecting, confirmation, and empathy. Okay, we have practiced gear 1, presence. We have practiced gear 2, unlocking with questions. Now it is time for the final, most advanced gear. Gear 3, reflecting. If gear 1 is about hearing someone, and gear 2 is about exploring their thoughts, then gear 3 is about understanding them, deeply understanding. This is where you show the other person something amazing. You show them, I heard you, and I get it. I understand. The best way to do this is with a technique called reflective listening. It has another name, rephrasing. It is very simple but very powerful. You summarize what the person said. You say it back to them, but in your own words. I know, it sounds a little strange. Maybe it sounds like you are a parrot, just repeating words. But when you do it with a real, honest feeling, it is one of the most powerful tools for connection in the world. You can start with simple phrases like, "So if I'm understanding you, you're saying that." Or, "It sounds like you're feeling really." Or, "Let me just check if I have this right. You felt." This does 2 wonderful things. First, it checks your understanding. Maybe you did not understand correctly. This gives them a chance to fix it. Second, and more importantly, it is an act of validation. Validation means you are telling them their feelings are real, their feelings are important, and you are trying hard to understand them. You are telling them, "You are not crazy. I get it. You are not alone." Alex had a chance to use this skill in a very difficult situation. At work, a big project was having problems. Everyone was stressed. A tense meeting was called. An engineer named Mark was in the meeting. Mark was clearly angry. He felt that his team was getting the blame for the problems. But it was not their fault. The room was very tense. You could feel the stress in the air. Everyone was defensive, ready to argue. The old Alex would have been scared. He would have stayed quiet, or maybe he would have argued with Mark, using facts and numbers. But this was the new Alex. He saw this not as a fight, but as a chance to connect. While Mark was talking, Alex used his new skills. He started in gear 1, presence. He just listened. He put all his attention on Mark. Then he shifted to gear 2, unlocking. He got curious. He did not focus on the anger. He focused on the feeling behind the anger. What was it? It was frustration. It was a feeling of being unfair. When Mark finally stopped talking, the room was silent. Alex did not argue. He shifted into gear 3, reflecting. He spoke calmly and slowly. He said, "Mark, let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. It sounds like you are incredibly frustrated because your team has been working so hard, day and night. But you feel like you are constantly surprised by changes from other teams. And now it feels like your team is being blamed for a deadline. That was impossible to meet from the start. Is that about right?" The change was immediate. The whole energy in the room shifted. It was like someone opened a window and let fresh air in. Mark's shoulders, which were up by his ears, came down. He relaxed. He had his arms crossed over his chest. He uncrossed them. He looked at Alex, and he let out a long breath, a sigh of relief, and he said, "Yes. That is exactly it. Thank you." In that moment, Alex did not win an argument. He won something much more important. He won trust. By reflecting Mark's feelings. By showing that he understood. He stopped the conflict. He turned an enemy into a partner. They were not fighting anymore. They were on the same team. And Alex's manager, the same manager from his bad performance review, she watched the whole thing. And she had a look of complete surprise and admiration on her face. She saw the change in him. This is the power of gear 3, the power of true understanding. Part 2C, the power of silence. There is one more part to radical listening. It is a secret ingredient. It helps all 3 gears work together perfectly. This secret ingredient is silence. We are usually afraid of silence in a conversation. It feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable. So we rush to fill it. We fill every pause with more words, with noise, with chatter, anything to avoid the empty space. But people who are great communicators understand something different. They understand that silence is not an empty space. Silence is a thinking space. It is a space for the other person to think more deeply. It is a space for them to find the courage to say what they really mean, the thing that is just under the surface. Silence also shows that you are confident. You are not nervous. You are not desperate to talk. You are calm enough to just be quiet and listen. So try this. After you ask a really good open-ended question, gear 2. Just wait. Be silent. Don't be tempted to answer the question for them. Don't ask another question right away. Give them space. Count to 3 in your head, or 5. Let them think. And after someone shares something important or emotional, don't immediately jump in with your own story. "Oh, that happened to me too." Instead, just pause. Be silent for a moment. Let their words hang in the air. Let the importance of their words be felt. This simple act of being quiet, of holding a safe space for them, can be more comforting than any advice you can give. Silence is a beautiful part of listening. It is a gift. We have just talked about the first pillar, radical listening, and we are about to learn the second pillar. This is where your skills will become even more powerful. But just take a moment here. Think about what we have learned. Are you starting to see your own conversations in a new way? Are you remembering times when you were an absent listener? Or times when one open-ended question could have changed everything? If you are feeling a small change in how you think, if this is helpful for you, please do me a small favor and tap the like button. It is a very small and easy thing for you to do, but it tells me that we are on the right path together, and it helps more people like you find our friendly community. Thank you, my friend. Now let's continue. Section 3. The second pillar. The silent conversation. Part 3A. The conversation you're ignoring. If you thought radical listening was a big change, get ready, because this next part is the final piece of the puzzle. It is a part of communication that we are all doing every second of every day, but most of us are not aware of it. We are unconscious. Have you ever heard that most of communication is nonverbal? Nonverbal means without words. This idea comes from the research of a man named Dr. Albert Mehrabian. His research found something amazing. When our words say one thing and our body says another thing, people will almost always believe our body. Think about it. Your friend visits you, you see their shoulders are down. Their face is tight. Their jaw is clenched. You ask, "Is everything okay? Are you mad?" And they say in a flat voice, "I'm not mad." What do you believe? Do you believe the words, "I'm not mad"? Or do you believe their clenched jaw and sad eyes? We always believe the body. The body tells the truth. The body finds it very hard to lie. The mouth can lie very easily. Here's another example. You are on a date. At the end of the night, the person says, "I had a really great time." But their voice is flat and monotone, and their body is already turned toward the door. They are slowly inching away. Their words say, "Great time." Their body says, "I want to leave now." We always believe the body. The silent conversation is the real conversation. Alex, our friend from the story, remembered something, a memory from years ago. And now it finally made sense. He had asked his boss for more money, a raise. His boss had smiled, and he said, "I would love to, Alex, but it is just not in the budget right now. But I really, really value your work." Alex heard the words and accepted them. "Okay, no problem." But now he replayed the memory in his mind. Like a movie. He saw that his boss's smile was not a real smile. It never reached his eyes. It was just a smile with the mouth. And he remembered his boss's feet. His feet were not pointing at Alex. They were pointing toward the door. This is a classic sign. It means the person wants to escape the conversation. Alex had lost the negotiation before he said a word. The silent conversation told him the real answer. The answer was no, no matter what the words were. So the key is not just to control your own words, The key is to learn how to read the silent signals from others and to learn how to send the right silent signals yourself. Part 3B, decoding the channels of nonverbal communication, just like with listening. Alex did not try to learn everything at once. That is too much. It is overwhelming. Instead, he focused on 3 main parts. 3 channels of the silent conversation. Let's learn them together. Channel 1, the eyes. The first channel is the most powerful. It is the eyes. People say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and it is true. Our eyes are where we show trust, where we show closeness, where we show honesty. As we talked about before, making comfortable eye contact is very important. It helps you build a connection. It builds rapport. But it is more than just that. When someone breaks eye contact with you, pay attention. Where do they look? If someone refuses to look at you, they always look down or away. It can be a sign of shame, or being uncomfortable, or hiding something. If someone's eyes are always moving around the room, looking over your shoulder, scanning the area, it is a very clear sign they are not engaged. They are bored. They are looking for someone else to talk to. This can feel bad, but it is important information for you. On the other side, holding eye contact for too long can be a problem. If you stare at someone without breaking your gaze, it can feel aggressive. It can feel intimidating or creepy. So the art is in the balance. A gentle, warm look when they are talking, and then a natural short break when you are talking. It is like a slow, comfortable dance. Alex started to practice this. He made a small effort. When he said thank you to the person at the coffee shop, he would look them in the eye for a second. He noticed it made the simple moment feel more real, more human. In meetings at work, he started to watch people's eyes. He could see who was friends with whom. He could see who was nervous. He did this by watching who looked at who when a difficult topic was discussed. The real meeting was not in the words, it was in the silent looks shared across the table. Channel 2, the body, posture, and gestures. If the eyes are the windows, then the body is the big sign outside the house. It is the billboard. Your posture, how you sit or stand, and your gestures, how you move your hands. These things are always broadcasting your feelings to the world. Let's think about open posture versus closed posture. This is very simple and very powerful. An open posture is when you are open to the world. Your arms are not crossed. They are relaxed at your sides. Your hands are visible. You are not hiding them. Your body is facing the other person. This posture signals confidence. It signals that you are relaxed and ready to connect. A closed posture is the opposite. Your arms are crossed over your chest like a shield. Or maybe you are holding a book or a bag in front of you. Your body might be angled away from the person. This posture signals that you are uncomfortable or defensive or not interested. Now, here is a very effective technique Alex learned. It is called mirroring. Mirroring is when you gently and subtly copy another person's body language. When two people feel very connected, when they have a strong rapport, they often start to do this naturally without thinking. They will both lean forward at the same time, or they will both cross their legs the same way. You can use this idea to build a connection. You can consciously use mirroring to build rapport, but the key is to be very, very subtle. You do not want them to notice. This is not a copycat game. Here is how it works. If the person you are talking to leans back in their chair, you wait a few seconds, then you can also lean back in your chair. If they use their right hand to make a point, a little later, you might use your left hand to make a point. It is a mirror image. They will never notice this with their conscious mind, but their subconscious mind, the deep part of their brain, will get a very powerful signal. The signal is, this person is like me. This person is on my side. I feel comfortable with this person. Alex tried this during a difficult conversation. He was negotiating with a vendor. The vendor was tough. When the conversation started, the vendor had his arms crossed tightly, a very closed posture. Alex did not cross his arms. He kept a calm, open posture. As they talked, Alex subtly mirrored the vendor's speed of talking. When the vendor spoke slowly, Alex spoke slowly. Then the vendor leaned forward on the table. Alex waited a moment. And then he also leaned forward. Slowly, something amazing happened. The vendor's body language started to change. His own posture began to open up. He uncrossed his arms. He relaxed. The conversation changed from a fight to a collaboration. They were working together. Mirroring helped to build that bridge of trust. Channel 3, the voice, tone, and pace. This is the final channel of the silent conversation. And it is not actually silent. It is your voice. But it is not about the words you are saying. It is about how you are saying them. Your tone. Is it high or low? Your pitch. Does it go up and down? Your volume. Is it loud or quiet? Your pace. Is it fast or slow? All of these things are powerful nonverbal signals. They give your words their true meaning. Think about this simple sentence. I am so excited. Now say it in your mind. Say it with a high-pitched voice, very fast. I am so excited. It sounds real. It sounds genuine. Now say the exact same words, but say them in a very low, slow, flat voice. I am so excited. What does it mean now? It sounds like sarcasm. It means the opposite. It means I am not excited at all. Same words, totally different meaning. The tone tells the truth. The music of your voice tells the truth, not the words. Alex had a habit. When he was nervous, he would talk very fast, and his voice would get higher. He sounded like he was sorry for taking up space. He sounded unconfident. So he started to practice. He called it speaking from the ground. Before an important phone call or meeting, he would stand up. He would plant his feet firmly on the ground. He would take a deep breath into his belly, and he would try to speak from his diaphragm, from his core, not from his throat. This made his voice deeper, calmer, and more resonant. He also recorded himself on his phone, not to check his words, but to listen to the music of his voice. Did he sound interesting? Or was he monotone and boring? He practiced pausing, a short pause right before you say something important. This creates power. It makes people lean in and listen. The change was huge when he presented his next big idea. He spoke slowly. He spoke clearly. His voice was calm and confident, a confidence he had never felt before. His voice was not just carrying his words, it was an instrument that communicated his belief in his own idea. Part 3C. Becoming congruent, aligning your words and body. This brings us to the final goal, the ultimate goal of mastering the silent conversation. The goal is to become congruent. Congruence is a big word, but it has a very simple meaning. It means that all your signals are aligned. They all match. It means your words, and your eyes, and your body, and your voice. They are all saying the exact same thing. Congruence is when you say, I am confident, and your posture is open and tall. Your eye contact is steady and warm, and your voice is calm and strong. Everything is in alignment. A lack of congruence is what makes people feel strange around someone. It is what makes people seem fake or untrustworthy. It is the faking it part of fake it till you make it. People can feel it when you are just pretending. When your words say, I am happy to be here, but your body is screaming, I want to go home. The goal is not to become a perfect actor or a manipulator. The goal is to become so aware of your own silent signals that you can bring them into alignment with what you really feel and intend. This is how you become authentic. This is how you become real. And when people feel that you are real, that you are congruent and authentic, they will trust you and they will want to connect with you. This is the foundation of real, deep credibility and charisma. Section 4, the synthesis, becoming a master connector. So Alex practiced. For a year, he practiced these skills. He practiced radical listening. He practiced reading the silent conversation. He did not become a new person. He did not change his personality. Instead, he became a more real version of himself, a more authentic version. He was like a beautiful statue that was covered in dust and dirt. The statue was always there. The skills were the tools he used to clean away the layers. The layers of social anxiety, the layers of fear, the layers of miscommunication. He did not get a new personality. He just learned the language of human connection. The whole framework is simple, but it is also profound. It is about one big shift. A shift from focusing on yourself to focusing on the other person. It is about realizing a powerful truth. The most charismatic person in the room is not the one telling the best stories. The most charismatic person is the one who creates a space where everyone else feels safe enough and important enough to tell their own stories. Let's visit Alex again. 1 year later, he is at a party, but this time he is not hiding in the corner. He is in a small group of people. He is listening to someone talk, and he is listening with that full listening intensity. He is in gear 1. Then he asks an open-ended question, and the person's face lights up as they tell a story. That is gear 2. His body language is open. He is relaxed. He is engaged. And other people start to come closer to his group. They are attracted to the warm, positive, focused energy. Now let's look at Alex at work. He is leading the big project now. He got the promotion. In meetings, he is the calm center of the room. He is not the loudest person. He uses radical listening to stop conflicts. He makes sure every single person on the team feels heard. Gear 3. He uses his knowledge of the silent conversation to read the room. He understands the feelings, not just the words. And when he finally speaks, his voice is calm and strong. Everyone listens. And what about his dating life? He is in a happy, healthy relationship. Why? Not because he used some clever pickup lines, but because he was genuinely curious about his partner. He listened to her stories. He understood her feelings. Their connection is strong. It is built on a foundation of presence, empathy, and understanding. This change was not magic. It was the result of practice, the conscious practice of one powerful skill: conscious connection. At the end of the day, this entire big framework, all these ideas and techniques, they all come down to one simple, generous choice. The choice to make the other person feel important, to make them feel seen, to make them feel heard. In our very busy, very distracted world, the greatest gift you can give to another person is your full, undivided attention. Your attention is the most valuable thing you have. It is rare and precious. Giving it to someone is a profound act of kindness. It is the heart of empathy. It is the soul of connection. And it is the true engine of charisma. You do not need to change who you are. You are wonderful just as you are. You just need to learn how to get out of your own head and step into the world of the person in front of you, even just for a few moments. Please do not feel like you have to do everything at once. Start small. Choose just one thing from this episode today, just one. Maybe your one thing is to put your phone in your bag during your next conversation. Maybe your one thing is to ask just one open-ended question today. What was the best part of your day? Maybe your one thing is to hold eye contact for one extra second when you say thank you. Choose one small thing and practice only that one thing for a week. See what happens. Notice the small changes. The journey from feeling awkward to feeling connected is not a giant leap. It is a series of small, gentle, intentional steps, one step at a time. Learning a new skill takes time. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay if it feels strange at first. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Every time you try, you are growing. Keep going. I believe in you. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you for giving me your precious attention. If this episode gave you a new way to see your conversations and a clear, kind path to improve, please consider following or subscribing to the podcast. We share new episodes to help you build the life and relationships you dream of. I have a question for you. Which part of this episode was most helpful for you? Was it the 3 gears of listening? Or was it learning about the silent conversation? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again for being here, my friend. Go out there and connect. I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.